My name is Ethan Miller, a 32-year-old software developer working for a mid-sized tech company called Bytecraft Solutions, based in downtown Chicago. My girlfriend, Emily, and I had been together for nearly 4 years. We shared a 14th-floor apartment near the river. Everyone said I was lucky to have a girlfriend who was not only beautiful and smart, but also a human resources team leader at a big firm called Orem Enterprises. I used to think that too. I really did. Lately, Emily started talking more about working late. She said her company was undergoing restructuring and her HR department was overwhelmed. I believed her. Why wouldn't I? You don't doubt the one you love, right? But then things started to shift. Small things, subtle things. And I, a programmer who notices even the tiniest bug, began to see the patterns. She stopped using her usual light vanilla perfume. Now it was something more expensive, more seductive. She dressed up more for night shifts than for daytime meetings. Her phone was always on silent, face down, and went with her everywhere, even into the bathroom. My gut twisted with unease, but I brushed it off. Everyone changes. It's normal. I told myself that. Until one Friday night, she said she was staying late again to finish a report for her HR director, James Whitmore, 42, divorced, and often inviting Emily on work trips. I said casually, "I'll pick you up after work." She smiled softly. "Don't bother, babe. It'll be super late. I'll just call an Uber." I nodded, but my heart pounded. I'd spent years detecting lies in clients. Now, I was starting to smell deception in the woman I loved most. I did something I never thought I would. I tracked her. I opened the iCloud tracking app on my phone, a feature we'd set up years ago for traveling. Her location popped up, Wyndham Grand Riverfront Hotel, 5 blocks away from her office. Couldn't breathe. That hotel, known for luxury corporate events. Not exactly where you file end-of-week reports. I threw on a coat and drove through the rain, my heart breaking with every turn, but my mind sharp. I had to know the truth, no matter how much it hurt. I parked across the street. The wind cut through my coat, and then I saw them, Emily and James, walking out of the hotel lobby. She had her arm through his, laughing, gentle, like I never existed. I stood there, frozen. I couldn't call, couldn't confront, just knew that something inside me had just died. I used to think the worst pain in life was betrayal, but I've realized the worst pain is when someone looks you in the eye and still lies. That night, I didn't call her. I didn't text. I just sat there in the car, under the cold rain, watching them walk toward a black Cadillac Escalade. James opened the door for Emily like a true gentleman. She smiled, nodded, and got in. Graceful, beautiful, and unfamiliar. What I felt wasn't rage. It was emptiness. I couldn't drive home right away. I just drove around the city streets, trying to calm myself, but every memory of Emily kept playing like a broken film reel. We used to eat at a little pizza shop near Millennium Park. Walked hand in hand by Lake Michigan on chilly fall nights. She once cried when I gave her her first necklace on our 2nd anniversary. She used to be my entire world. The next morning, she came home at 9 a.m. Her makeup was wiped off, hair down, eyes tired. I pretended to be asleep. She tiptoed into the shower, then made breakfast like nothing happened. "You stayed up late. Tired?" I asked as I walked out, forcing a smile. "Yeah. Pretty exhausted. James pushed us to finish the report overnight," she replied, handing me a warm cup of coffee. "James pushed us?" I repeated in my head, trying not to let my rage boil over. I wanted to confront her, scream, "I saw you at the hotel. Do you think I'm that stupid?" But I couldn't. Not because I was scared. Because I needed to be sure. I needed concrete proof, not just one night. So I started collecting it. I hired an old friend, a former Marine turned private investigator named Ben Carlson. He'd helped a few friends with divorce and cheating cases. When I explained the situation, he just said, "I'll find the truth, whether you want to hear it or not." For the next 3 days, Ben followed Emily after work. What he uncovered was both devastating and enlightening. Monday night, she left the office at 6:30 p.m., took a cab to the Langham Hotel, Not the Wyndham this time. James was already waiting in the lobby holding 2 cocktails. Tuesday night. She had a business trip to St. Louis. Actually, James booked a 2-person getaway, executive suite, king-size bed. Wednesday night, no message, no return home. Ben sent me pictures, videos, location logs. My hands shook as I watched, not from shock, but because the truth was now undeniable. The woman who once cried over a lost cat was now caressing another man's neck in a hotel lobby. Thursday night, I waited in the living room. In front of me, a photo album of our 4 years, and a goodbye letter I just typed. This time, I wouldn't stay silent. I had been waiting for her in the living room for 3 hours. The floor lamp cast a dim amber glow across the walls, covered with memories. A photo of us at the Grand Canyon still sat on the bookshelf. Looking at it, felt both familiar and foreign. The clock struck 11:15 p.m. The door opened. She walked in, same perfume, same tired eyes, same forced smile of a responsible girlfriend. "You're still up?" she asked while taking off her coat and setting her bag down. I looked at her for a few seconds, didn't answer immediately. Then I said calmly, "Emily, can we talk?" She froze slightly. Her eyes blinked rapidly. Is something wrong?" I gestured for her to sit. In front of her was my laptop, already open, displaying footage of her and James at the hotel, images legally obtained by Ben through his contacts. She looked at the screen. Her lips parted. Hands trembled slightly. "This is Monday night. The Langham Hotel. 2 cocktails. 1 man, your boss. 1 woman, the person I've loved for 4 years." I paused. My voice was eerily calm. "Do you want to say anything?" No smile. No gentle gaze. She looked down. Silent. "I saw you too last Friday, Emily. Walking out of the Wyndham." I didn't say anything. I waited. Because I wanted to hear it from you. She exhaled deeply, like a burden she had carried was finally being released. I didn't mean for it to go this far. I just felt so empty for so long. Ethan. My fists clenched, but I kept my voice steady. "So you filled that emptiness with James? It's not what you think. Not what I think. You slept with another man and lied to me for weeks. How should I think?" My voice rose. For the first time since this began, I didn't restrain my emotions. She cried. Real tears. But I felt nothing. Just a deep hollow ache inside. "We're not who we used to be, Ethan. You're obsessed with work, always in front of a screen." I felt invisible. James, he listened, he cared. I worked to build a future for us. I didn't know you were looking for that future in someone else's bed. I stood up and handed her a printed document, the condo's ownership transfer, with her name crossed out. "This condo is in my name. You have 2 weeks to move out. No explanations, no more words." She reached for my hand, trembling. "Ethan, I'm sorry. I don't want to lose you. I just lost my way." I looked at her, the woman who once meant everything to me. "You didn't lose your way, Emily. You chose a different path. And on that path, there is no me." I turned, walked into the bedroom, and closed the door. Behind me, her sobs echoed through the quiet Chicago night. I didn't look back. Not ever again. It's been a week since that night. Emily had moved out. The apartment was now just me and the silence. Where her vanity once stood, the couch corner she'd curl into for Netflix nights. Everything still in place, but the warmth was gone. I didn't delete photos. I didn't burn the memories. I left everything as it was, not because I hoped she'd return, but because I wanted to face it and heal. The first few days felt unbearable. But then, I started writing. I opened my laptop and poured everything out. Every feeling. Every scene. Not to blame, but to release. Ben, my friend who helped uncover the truth, invited me on a hiking trip to Colorado. "Get out of Chicago for a bit. Breathe on a mountain, bro," he said. I agreed, and it was the first time in months I truly felt alive. On a misty morning atop the Rocky Mountains, I stood there, no phone, no painful flashbacks, just me and the wind. I closed my eyes, and for the first time since everything happened, I smiled. I realized I didn't break. I just needed time to rise the right way. Emily had texted me after she left. A long message, filled with tears, apologies, regrets, pleas to try again. I read it, then deleted it. Not out of anger, but because I understood. Real love isn't just emotion, it's a daily choice. And she made the wrong one. 3 months later, I met Madison, a literature teacher with smiling eyes and a book always in hand at cafes. We met by chance at a tech seminar, something I wouldn't have attended if not for everything that had happened. Madison wasn't trying to fill a void. She was just herself, simple, honest. And I no longer had to pretend to be someone else. One April afternoon, we sat by Lake Michigan. She leaned on my shoulder and whispered, "Have you ever loved someone so much you lost yourself?" I paused for a few seconds, then said, "Yes, but because of that, I learned what loving yourself the right way really means." We didn't rush promises, but in that moment, I knew my past no longer scared me, because from now on, I wouldn't live in shadows. I'd live in real sunlight.